Hey everybody, today's video is going to be going over the Glock OEM G17 Gen 5 magazine rebuild kits. These ones are an FDE, not to be confused with Coyote, which the Glock 19X come in. So this is the Gen 5 model, so this will fit any of your Glock 9mm double stack handguns. Except for a Glock 19X. So the Gen 5 has an improvement on this base plate that doesn't actually work in the 19X. So please know that if you are purchasing these for a 19X, that you're going to need to either replace the base plate on them with the older generation ones, which is no problem, or the Glock 19X magazine well can be modified for it. So this is what you receive in your rebuild kit. This is the body right here, and it's steel lined in the inside for increased reliability and durability, which is a really nice feature of Glock magazines. The spring with the follower attached, and this is the orange follower. That's kind of how you know that these are Gen 5. All Glock Gen 5 magazines do have this orange follower. And then you have the little locking plate and base plate. So to assemble these, when you're finished rebuilding your old grandfather in magazines, or you're in a state that allows you to do so, it's very simple. This follower has a little bit of a slant that lines up with the magazine body. So go ahead and slide that in from the bottom. And this locking plate has little cutouts around the circular tab, and that's going to correspond with the cutouts in the bottom of the magazine body. So go ahead and depress the spring, put the locking base plate on with the circular tab facing up, and then this base plate has an open side and a closed off side, so the open side is going to slide on from the front of the magazine body. So what keeps these Glock OEM magazines held together are these little locking base plates on each side of them. So to reassemble, you do need to get this base plate over them. It takes a little bit of pressure, but you're not going to hurt anything by sliding that on there. So slide that on, and that's fully reassembled, and you can know you've done it correctly. This base plate will be flush here, and these locking tabs will engage the base plate. So to disassemble these when you need to make your repairs to your old magazines, or because you're going to a state that doesn't allow them, or whatever reason you may have, it's very simple, but we do use a couple of tools to help us. First is a punch, and we use that to depress the little circular locking plate. So you just push that in there, and you'll feel a little bit of a click, and just make sure that the locking plate is no longer flush here, and that this hole is kind of free and clear. And then you need to engage these little locking tabs, and you can do it by hand by squeezing it really hard, but since we do quite a few of these, we use this tool to help us. So this is a Milwaukee torque lock. You could also use pliers, or some sort of wrench, or whatever you might have, but just know that if you do use a tool, to be very cautious and not hold it too tight, because you can crack the polymers on this magazine. So we have it set very lightly to just very barely depress the sides of it. So go ahead, clamp it on there, and then take something to slide it in the hole to get a little bit of leverage, and then just simply slide it off. And once you get past the little side locking tabs, it's very easy. You see we've got it started, and you can just slide it off by hand from there. So there you have the body, the spring and follower, and then the base plate and locking plate. So thank you very much for watching this video on Glock OEM G17 Gen 5 magazine rebuild kits.